Hello, OffyD's. This is I'm making this video in response to your in-depth analysis of the game of Starsector. I have to say that I really enjoy the game. I really like the game. But despite that, I agree with you on a lot of the things, about Starsector. A lot of things that frustrates me about Starsector. But this video is not about those things. This video is about the things that I think maybe you're not quite understanding quite grasping the what is so good about this game. So first of all, I'm going to show you something real quick. I am in the Jangla system, Corvus system. You start off in Jalatia. That's your starting area. Remember, you had stuff stored in Angsira that was that kept draining your your income. 500 credits every month because you forgot that at the beginning the tutorial, that guy gave you some weapons and you never went and grabbed it, and you left it in storage, and so throughout the whole game it was just draining 500 credits from you every month. But so this is the starting area, right? And Syra, and of course this is the Gelatia Academy Station. That's where you get the mission chain that ultimately gives you things that I guess spoiler alert. So if you don't want to hear about spoilers, you want to play the game, don't watch this. Stop watching. Okay, so this quest chain will give you the ability to use gates, which basically instantly teleports you from one place to another. So between gates, only between gates. So anyways, what I want to address is one thing I want to address. I can't really demonstrate because I've always avoided doing it. Is according to Francis John, right? He talks about how you can. I watch his videos and he talks about how you can raid or bombard a colony to make it so that, let's say that particular colony produces a lot of fuel. You raid it or you bombard it, and then that colony will stop producing fuel for a while, and it'll hurt their economy tremendously. And at that point, all of a sudden prices for your goods become very high, and demand for your goods, let's say you're a big fuel maker, becomes very high, and you can sell them for a lot of money, and you can make a lot of money. And that's, and he was talking, he talked about, when he was talking about doing that, he warned against doing it too much, because doing too much to a colony can actually cause it to self-destruct. So if you hurt it enough, these colonies will disappear. Like the pirates, Garner right here, if you raid it like really hard, it could hurt their economy so much that this colony will disappear. So that's one thing I didn't want to do, because I didn't want to reduce the diversity of the universe. So I never did it. I just I won't say I never raided. It's just that I never did it to hurt or to try to get much out of these colonies. Like I never raided for a particular module. Like for example, you can actually raid for stuff late game stuff in the form of, say you don't have a pristine nanoforge. I think you can get a pristine nanoforge from let me think, from here, from the hegemony. One of the hegemony bases has a pristine nanoforge, I believe. And then like if you want to raid there, so a lot of these factions have these special modules that maybe you are unable to get randomly from the universe, and you really want to get it. Then you can raid it for that, and then of course it will hurt that faction tremendously, right? When you take that module out of it, you'll prevent them, for 3 months or whatever. They can't, they can't produce stuff, and then afterwards they're producing at a reduced capacity. And the next thing, so you do have a lot of agency, and in this game, which is you can actually destroy factions, destroy colonies. I've never done it. I haven't really watched videos of people doing it, but I hear you can do that. This is secondhand. I heard it from Francis John a long time ago. So, but I believe it. It makes sense. I don't think he lied about it. So another thing is, so what I'm trying to say is you actually have tremendous amount of agency of this world, more so than pretty much just about any other game. That's how I feel of any other sandbox game. There are things you can't do in a lot of these other sandbox games. So that's one appeal of this game. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is your fleet and your ships, how you fit your ships, and how that affects your combat ability. So you pretty much just go with what I noticed you do is you just go like this. You auto fit to whatever, right? I'm showing you the Tempest, right? So you just hit auto fit, and then you hit whichever it is, and you don't really modify it. And I have to admit, I do that with basically the Tempest. The thing that I noticed, however, is the new Tempest. They have a since 0.96 alpha RC10, at least that's the patch that I have. They've changed this missile to a sabot instead of a harpoon. So used to be, it was standard to have this outfitted with the harpoon, and I just go with it. And to be honest, the Tempest being a S tier generally, the Tempest, the Omen, and the LP Brawler, the Ludic Path Brawler, the Ludic Path variation of the Brawler, are considered to be S tier. So especially the Ludic Path Brawlers are probably at the very top of the list of S tier ships. If you are interested in that, I think Grumpy Thumper Gaming has a tier list. It's old, it's a little bit outdated, but it'll give you a good idea of which ships are S tier or not. And so one of the things that makes this game fun for me, and I imagine a lot of people, is to figure out which ships are good, which ships work for you, what kind of ships you want. And I have many of the same frustrations you have, which is, the ships don't get there, the enemies run away, you can't get to them, and so I play frigates. And so this is a so a lot of times you just go and you auto fit, and a lot of times at that particular base they don't have the weapons that's recommended on this list, and the auto fit will automatically choose a similar weapon to put on here. And so your ships are so willy-nilly. Like, your ships are really mishmash of ships. And I noticed that later on, the later the game goes on, the more your ships become closer to the auto fit model, but some of your ships, even at the very end of the game, is like, I'm like, oh, why you still have like a medium weapon on a large mount? It's like, you still have this medium missile on this large missile mount, or something like that. Well, I can't be sure, but I'm just saying, some of the weapons are wrong for the ship, wrong for the fit, wrong for the build. There's so much you have to think about when you fit your ship, right? And so that's part of the fun of the game, is trying to figure out what works for you and what really. I have to admit, I love min-maxing, and I try to do that a lot in my games. And in particular, I would say, when it comes to fitting out a ship, the most min-maxing I do would be in something like Roll the Waves, which is a indie game also. It's more like a spreadsheet game, but it's in a similar way. Starsector is similar in that way. You can fit your ships in different ways. There's a lot of options you can have, and the way you fit them will affect how they perform in combat. And I'm going to show you what I have. I'll show you what I have. I have like 4 to 6 of these. I used to have more of these Tempests, but I feel that the later the patches, the more the less powerful they become. So at this point, they're still S tier, but they're not quite as good as, say, an Omen anymore. So I'll show you my fit for, say, an Omen. I put an autoloader on it. All my ships have solar shielding. So remember, you complained about moving your ships through the clouds, and how the storms would damage your ships. Well, solar shielding will reduce the amount of damage you have. And in fact, if you decide to put a story point in solar shielding, you basically prevent it from being damaged by storms and solar corona. So you can fly into the sun, your ships won't suffer damage. You can ride a storm and your ship won't suffer damage. And like a lot of the players, I don't like slowing down. So instead of slowing down, I go full speed, and if I hit a storm, I actually get a huge boost to my speed, right? Because max speed you can go is 20. Max burn speed is 20, unless you get hit with a storm, at which point it can boost it to 30. And a lot of players take advantage of that to some extent, and sometimes they'll bounce you off course and you have to adjust, and it may cost you a little bit of time, but for the most part, it probably speeds up your going from point A to point B. So this is one thing you can use solar shield to improve your quality of life, so you don't have to try to slow down, avoid storms, and it would improve your quality of life, I think. And but also it also reduces energy damage taken by 10% in combat. It was 20% before. The patch you are running, 0.95 RC6, 0.95 Alpha 9 RC6, I believe it's still in combat. It reduced energy damage by 20%. So I'm running. I'll show you. I'll show you real quick. I'm running 0.96 Alpha RC10, and so in you can watch some of my videos. I have some videos in 0.95 RC6. These frigates really dominate. More so than now, but I can demonstrate to you right now how strong they are. This fleet is. So I'm gonna take. So let me show you real quick what the fit is. So this is what I've used for it. I would explain, but I just decided to use tactical laser because they have such long range, and you know they're a little bit better than damage than PD lasers. But anyways, integrated point defense. I have integrated point defense, hardened subsystem for every frigate, because your frigates are going to lose peak performance. This one, even with that hardened subsystems, which is plus 90 seconds, it's still like 270 seconds. Oh no, actually this guy might have combat endurance. And no, I don't think he does. Yeah, he doesn't. So this basically the hardened subsystem gives it a good 90 seconds. So imagine only having 180 seconds. You're gonna run out of combat readiness. So hardened subsystems every time for frigates, basically. And then solar shielding, and then I have hardened shields, which I know, I'm sure you know what it does. Point defense and integrated targeting unit, which increases the range. So that's the Omen. And then what I have is burst PD plus tactical laser. Not all my ships are quite the same, but they're basically the same. Point defense with the tactical laser, or in this case point defense with a mining laser. I forgot to mess with them. I failed as hard as you did in making sure my ships are, but they work okay. They still work okay. So the main point of these ships is it's the EMP, the crazy EMP emitter, which does electromagnetic damage and shuts down ship systems, including weapons and engines and everything. So then I put swarm missiles on every one of these. And for the Ludic Path Brawlers, I have swarmer missiles. You can put sabos or other kinds of missiles, or I've even mounted like a light, like an autocannon or a machine gun or I've mounted some of these things before. The main important thing is to put assault chain guns on these things, because assault chain guns are very efficient and extremely high DPS. They work 200% versus armor. Armor are the hardest to strip off. So you want it. So this is very important. This is very helpful. So that's why these things will destroy ships very quickly. So anyways, so assault chain guns are the most important. You can put swarm missiles or whatever over on these sides, and they should do the jobs. The main thing is the main reason why I like swarmers is because they can shoot down fighters, and they can serve as distractions for when when you're getting focused, when your brawler is getting focused and it wants to run away, having some missiles flying around towards your enemies will kind of distract them and stop them from going so hard on the brawler. So these ships are very fast. They have built-in safety overrides, and their top speed, you can see it's 168. I put expanded missile racks. No need to explain. Hardness subsystems. Stabilized shields reduces the amount of flux per second active shields will produce. Solar shielding, I put them on all my ships. Hardened shields, that's, you know, it's no-brainer. But like in a ship that does not have a pilot, right? Some of my ships don't have a pilot. Then hardened subsystems, stabilized shield, and solar shield still there, but I add reinforced bulkheads for when my ships get blown up. So I can always, with reinforced bulkheads, after the battle, if I win the battle, I can always recover these. So that's why I put them on here. These are likewise with these, I put reinforced bulkheads on the ones with without pilots. So they have these drones, Terminator drones, and then like I put like a pulse laser, graviton beam, and sabos on them. So a lot of people are talking about putting like ion beams and ion pulsars on them, and that's gonna do a lot of EM damage and will disable enemy ships, but I never did. It's just I never did try to do that. I just went with basic. It works okay for me. I mean, you can still, these ships can still kill other frigates very quickly, mostly because of the Terminator drones. The Sabo Terminator drones work very well. So reinforced bulkheads, so they're recoverable. You know, integrated target unit to increase their range. Solar shielding, shield conversion front, increases the shield arc. So they had an omni shield that moves around, but the shield arc is very small. It's 120, I believe it was 120. So now they have 240 instead of 120. So I just put it there because I thought it'd be helpful, especially since these things also increases the deployment of the shield twice as fast as normal. So that's the fit. Also, spoiler alert. So if you're not, again, if you don't play the game, you don't know about it. If I'm going to go up against tough things, fleets that exceed a certain credit value in terms of bounty, say close to 300,000 or 300,000 credits, or if I'm going to take on a starbase, not a starbase. Starbase is probably I probably don't even need these. A battle station or a star fortress, then I will take one or two of these, depending on how powerful that starbase or whatever is. And this is without these, this is my mission questing outfit. I use an Atlas, which has massive cargo space. I use two of these because with two of these I don't really spend much on salvaging, and I get a lot more out of salvaging. And if you look at the Apogee also have bonuses to surveying. So survey cost by 60 supplies reduces your survey cost by a lot. So basically yeah, it just reduces by a lot. I never really even look at how much it costs to survey. or how much it costs to salvage, because the cost is basically negligible to me. So as I'm sure because I have, this is my my character, how I level my character. So the first thing I get is 1 point in navigation. Second thing I get is bulkhead, boat transport, and then the third thing I get is sensors. And then afterwards I go down the yellow path. I get field repairs, get containment procedures. Well, no, I get this one first, because I want to reduce supplies usage, so for maintenance by 50%, because I think it costs more. So my fuel cost comes next, and then for my 7th point I will get hull restoration, and after that I will probably get crew training. Crew training gives combat readiness. So if I have this, by the time I get this, I believe my combat readiness is it's about 85 or 90, for all my ships, right? So it's plus 15, right? Ready, plus 14 max combat readiness for ships. So anyways, then I get the vents. Then I get ECM, automated ships. This one allows me to get these things, the orbital ships, which are probably the most powerful capital ships you can get. I think currently the most powerful capital ship is probably the Invictus, like in 0.96 Alpha RC10. So anyways, what was I talking? I was showing you. Okay, so this allows me to get those ships, and then after that I get AI drills for the weapons damage for all my ships, and then I get coordinated maneuvers for the extra speed. So capping points can be helpful. So having your ships being faster is very helpful. It's also very helpful for catching people and for local superiority, right? So the whole deal with frigates is you want your frigates to swarm somebody and have a numerical advantage locally, right? Maybe on the entire battlefield you don't necessarily have numerical advantage, but usually you do, because you're frigates and they're fielding bigger ships, you're fielding frigates. Well, you can probably field a few more frigates than they can field, let's say, cruisers. So most of the time, the bigger and stronger the fleets get, the more big ships they have, and but you don't have to go that route. You can go this route, frigates, and you can go, and then after that, I just go more officers. I'm thinking about getting that instead next time, because but I don't know. I'm not sure, because I always get this. And for both my series that I posted on YouTube, I have the same thing, which is exact same build. And so the last one, I always get support doctrine. So all your ships that you don't have piloted gets non-elite helmsmanship, damage control, and combat endurance. So to me, combat endurance is number one most important. And then helmsmanship is very, very helpful. Damage control is the least important of them, but it's okay. So it also decreases your deployment cost. So for example, if whichever is less, so 20% or 10 points, whichever is less. So for example, my Ludic Path brawlers cost 6 to deploy, but with that it becomes 5, and my these things cost 60 to deploy, but with that it only costs 50 to deploy. And so I can deploy more ships with the same amount of points. What do you call those points? Deployment, with the same amount of deployment points. And most of the time I can deploy all the ships that I plan to deploy at the very beginning of the combat. So let me demonstrate to you quickly what this does. So with these, this one I just went with okay, I forgot to show you what one I have here. So with this one I just went with auto fit standard, and then I added solar shielding, and so this is what I have. I don't know which one what I added, but so stabilized shield, hardened shields. The resistant flux conduits I added because I decided to fight the Tesseract, so that's what it was for, and the Tesseract and the Ziggurat. So that's what those are. That's why they were added. But initially it was something else. But it doesn't matter. It's not a huge deal. It's still useful, for the most part. So so solar shield, expanded magazines for the extra missiles. And for this fit, again, this is just a regular assault variant, and that's the weapons is auto pulse, mostly auto pulse, 1 plasma cannon, and then 4 reapers, and then some point defense, and then this one has hardened shields, and it's the same. They're the same. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same for modules wise. This one has 2 large reapers. These are actually just medium, and then 2 sabos, 2 medium, the sabo pods, and then the iron beams, along with the paladin point defense, which is really nice against fighter swarms and missiles and all that. Also I put in also the pulse lasers, 2 pulse lasers. So, and then the 4 point defense, and then these IR pulse lasers. So just they've worked for me. These 2 ships work for me pretty well. This is more killy, will kill more ships, and it's very nasty, especially if it gets omen support to destroy fighters and missiles. This one is more a generalist, and in most situations it's very, very powerful. Like in situations where there's too much missiles and fighters, this ship will falter a little bit. So anyways, I want to make this video as short as possible. I'm sorry, but that is obviously not happening. So okay, so another thing I want to show you is what I do is I hoard weapons. I hoard weapons because I plan to try out different fits, and I can try out any fit I want because I have multiple Dragonfire torpedo pods. I have multiple paladins. I have multiple of every weapon, just basically like pretty much every weapon except maybe this is a mission weapon. That's not very good. I personally don't find it. And these are these are from the Tesseract. You can't get them anywhere else. So I only have so much. There's only so much of them in the whole entire game. So but I plan to experiment with them, play around with them, and min-max. Basically, that's one of the fun things about this game, is to min-max your ships, to find the best way to fit your ships, and what gels, what kind of what combination of ships will gel together and work. And I really like, I also really like this. Okay, so this one I have Tachyon, Lance, Locust, Sabos, and this one is the IR Auto Lance. This one is the Antimatter Blaster. Hopefully, you know, a lot of people don't want to fit these on here because this is a range 400, and all these other weapons have such long range. So the idea is this ship will not get in close to the enemy. It'll stay at range. You know, like all these weapons have over 1,000 range. So why would it need to get close? But every time I find, it doesn't matter what I put in here, what I don't put in here, this ship will just go there. So I thought I might as well put the most powerful weapon I can find. So this is the most powerful weapon you can put on a small energy mount. So, and it's very cheap, very cheap. Well, 9 points is, I guess, is not that cheap, but anyways, it's very powerful. The hope is it doesn't get used, but that's not the case. This ship always, for no good reason, goes right up to the enemy. So phase tanks the enemy. So anyways, so for this augmented drive field, because this thing is slow, its speed is normally an 8. So if you fly this thing without augmented drive field, your max your max speed is 20. Max burn is 20, and so no, it's your max burn is 18. And so I didn't want that. I want it to be 20. So that's why I wanted to fly around quicker. I wanted the speed. And so that's why I have this. And then I have nav relay, which gives the entire fleet a speed boost. Solar shield, stabilized shields, unstable injector. Unstable injector will give me this ship a bit more speed. It moves faster. And then expanded missile racks for the extra missiles. Integrated targeting for the range, extra range. This unstable injector will negate that basically, but you know, it's okay. I would rather it get into the fight faster. It's already the slowest ship in the fleet. So so I personally don't have any ability. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put myself in here, because if I'm here, this guy speed 86. Why? Because speed 86 and readiness 100 instead of whatever it was. Why? Because I have this. So it's actually better that my character doesn't pilot it. I mean, definitely it's better that in real life I don't pilot, because I don't pilot ships. I absolutely suck at it. So without further ado, let's go look at bounties. Let's go look at a bounty. So let's say this bounty. I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe I don't even need the big ships for this. No capital ships, just my frigates and one my one cruiser, my Apogee, is enough. So I have 20 or 21 frigates plus the Apogee. That this, I'll be able to take this down. These bounties, I believe I don't even need to take the Apogee. Just the frigates will take care of it. In the old version, and this is for 0.096 alpha RC10, but in 0.095 alpha RC6, my fleet will take on these, even the 300,000 ones, but that's harder. So I first of all I need to find so I cannot find a base to kill. So I'll just look for one here. Let's. It's an orbital station. I don't know what the orbital station is. So should I do this? Okay. So let's say I go here. Let's say I go here and fight this. I don't know if let's view colony info. What is this? It doesn't even show what kind of. But let's say I consider military back. You can't even engage. Okay, consider mirror. So there's nothing. Although there's a. Oh, this is just a depot, so I can't even fight that. Okay. I guess I'll do a bounty. A bounty. Let's do this one. I think I can get there in time, right? Who's this? Is this one? No. It's this one. This one. Okay, so this guy is in a vault. I'll just go first. So unfortunately, I'm lugging around those two capital ships that I didn't put augmented dry field on. Usually I put augmented dry field on them, but now because I don't. For this game, I didn't do it because I figure, I'm not gonna use them if I needed them to be stealthy or fast. So I just need them to be strong. So let's look at this one. Volcanic World in Gamma L Nagang. Let's go look at that. So it's over here, or over here. So let's fight this, right? Move into engage. Okay, you see this? This is 200 and combat power 260,000 credits, right? So what I do, I will not take these. In fact, I'm just gonna try this once. I may have to save scum if I already saved, so it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna show you. But in 95 Alpha RC6, this fleet will definitely destroy the other fleet. But since the patch, they've done things to make it more difficult. So, but let's just do it. So what I do with these are very fast. So with all the buffs, this is a 216 top speed ship. Unfortunately, this guy is piloted and he doesn't have helmsmanship, so he's only 192 speed. So the moment these gets capped, I just hit full assault, and you can see, you can watch them. Yeah, a single what do you call that? A Tempest will take out. I want that because it's a sensor jammer. It gives ECM. So if they have ECM, that means my weapons range is shorter. So I don't want them to have that advantage. I want them to have that disadvantage. So I'm capping this. But the moment it gets capped, I just go full assault, and my ships will take care of them. You don't really need to take control of them too much. There are times when it may be a good idea, like maybe like that. That's just a waste of time. You need these brawlers to get in close, to do finish the job, right? These guys are more initiator and distractors, right? The Omen can disable ships, force them to be unable to fire weapons and stuff, and disable their engines. But you need the brawlers to do the finishing. So that's why I sent that guy over there. So yeah, so let them have that jammer. I'm just gonna destroy stuff. Yeah. So that's Cerberus is dead, and then which one? Okay, this guy's pretty. I need these two. Okay, well if these two are doing that, then we need an Omen to support that. So by themselves they're terrible, because they're not terrible, but they're not as good because they're very bad against fighters and missiles. So we'll just send them over to do that. Like this is not pointless because one of them is not going to do much. So you can see combat readiness is already tanking. Yeah, so I don't need to do that, but like okay. Well, okay, you guys do whatever. So that's done. So by capping these points, I denied them the deployment points initially. So they don't have a large fleet that can overwhelm me in the early stage of the battle. But as time goes on, sometimes I'll lose some of these, but that's okay, you know, because at that point I've got the battle in the bag. So you can see 260,000 credits worth with like 2 capital ships is not going to stop my 20 or 21 frigates. I think it was 20. I don't remember. So I think I have 10 brawlers and 6 omens and 4 tempests. So I didn't even use my radiance or my apogee, and they catch basically everybody. Like very few can escape. I don't want any of these, and very few of them gets destroyed. So none of them escaped. None of them escaped. So as you can see, this is 6 omens, 10 brawlers. I mean, you can change the numbers up and it wouldn't be too bad. And 5 tempests. So this is 21. There's 21 frigates, and that's, I mean, now against these have the new laser torpedoes that make life very difficult. Like the AI doesn't know how to deal with it. The frigates will just end up getting smashed by them. So with these, I'm gonna need like a battleship. a capital ship to take care of it. So let's say we fight that, and I can show you. It's not a big deal. Let me see where the gates are. Okay, Absalom, Namibia. We're going to Absalom, Namibia. What? Oh, I am in Gamma. I thought I was in another different star system. Okay, that was dumb. Okay, so Epsilon, Namibia. And I'm pretty sure that that last fight was profitable. If I hadn't dragged along these two, that last fight would have been profitable. But I dragged along these two, so I am not sure. Actually, Epsilon, Namib star system, barren, bombarded world. Barren, bombarded world. It's right here. So let's check. 90%. I think we're ready. So let's move into engage. Let's check real quick. So look at these. These are capital ships, missile battleships. These are Eagles. There's 4 cruisers. Watch this. Just move into engage. So I do not need all of these. This is all I need. I don't need this one. So let's deploy that. That was not my intention. Okay, just go full. I'm just... Okay, so these guys are going the wrong way. Just point them the right way. Like, I'm not gonna send the battleship and the cruiser to kill 1 frigate or 2 frigates. So these are tough little bricks. So this guy almost died from all the missiles and stuff. So I most likely will lose that, but it's okay. So here's a quick look at how things will work. The looted path crawlers will destroy stuff. Oh. I don't know if maybe you like to watch this more. This is also fun. That laser thing is super strong. Okay, so you can see this guy's almost dead, so there's no way. So these guys are gonna get ganged up on. All the reinforcements are gonna get ganged up on. So this is a highly mobile fleet. They are not going to run it. Well, it's not true. Sometimes they'll still get away, but it's not like this battle will drag on and you'll try to attack them and they'll run away, and you can't run away. I mean, and then it drags on, and then they retreat, and then their shield recovers, and then it's none of that. It's not like that. It's you just go in, and that battleship just dies. Like it's okay. It's okay. Now we kind of get into trouble. So some of these will probably die because those are too big. There's too much fleet. So let's get that over there. These guys can come help. So this will hopefully speed up their the fight. So I just turn that on and off to so that it wouldn't be just specifically be targeting that, because sometimes they move around and it becomes more difficult to target them. So you can see, like, I have local superiority. They cannot win. It's not they can't do anything and they can't kill some of my ships, but they just cannot win that. So if you design your ships right, it can be a lot less frustrating. It can be a lot more fun to watch the battles. I mean, I know you already enjoy watching the battles, but this will be even more fun because you're killing stuff quick and you're making profit. And so this is why you want to study up on how to fit a ship. And what is this? Okay, where am I? Okay, I lost one brawler. Okay, let them go. As long as the leader gets killed, you get the bounty. So it doesn't matter how many of them escape. I usually just let them go. No point in doing anything. So pick through that. So I would love to show you a battle. Why don't I show you a battle? I want to show you a battle, okay, where I'm fighting a base. Ideally, it's there's no, unfortunately, I can't find any. So let's look for a base where there's a, let's just say I'm gonna randomly hit up some pirate base then, like I want to show you a battle. What's a battle? What's a pirate base that actually has a... I'm just going to try one randomly and attack and see what happens. Thulian. What is this? they're already engaged in battle, so I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll do this instead. So let's see. Let's take a. This is a Star Fortress. Okay. So this is Star Fortress, so it's going to be a tough fight, but let's do that, right? So I'll just take these and then I'll reinforce them. I probably don't even need all this, but and then I'll just tell them the full assault. So I didn't send these out first because I want these to be up front and tank the damage initially. So if I had just sent them all out all together, the base would start targeting the small ships, and I didn't want to do that. My frigates. Okay, this is a Star Fortress. This is much stronger than a battle station. And so I'm just showing you, you don't need to bring 20, 5, 6 different battleships to try to beat this. You can just do it. You can do it with less. So long as you spend some time to figure out how to build your fleet, and you don't need to really. My fleet is not. I'm by no means an expert. I mean, if you want to talk about expertise, probably like people like Big Brain Energy or Grumpy Thumper. They're probably much more of an expert on these, because this is just basically default build, right? This is the build I learned from watching other people play. The one for the Ludic Path Brawler, the 2 assault chain guns. I watched some videos. I read some stuff online. These are also just basic. The default ones, auto fit. This is auto fit with, this is auto fit, and then sometimes I don't have the weapons, and actually I do now, but I just keep forgetting, and it works, so I'm not too bothered by it, so I just kept it. So I auto fit these when I didn't have these weapons, and I just never bothered to change them. But this is auto fit, basically auto fit, and you can change up some of these weapons. Like, I think I actually did purposely change this because it was PD, and I wanted just a little bit more punch, and this thing also has a lot longer range. So that's why I went with this tactical laser. So but it's not it's not like I'm some expert. I'm very knowledgeable. All it is I have the right weapons. Like, I have 20 of these assault chain guns. I have 20 of these, not just 20, but I have butt tons, like 30, 40 of these swarming missiles, you know, and I have the tachyon beams, and I have the pulse lasers and the reapers, you know. So so this is just to demonstrate, you know, and okay, so I don't, so let's see what the so when I play, I also didn't bother to join the hegemony. So if you look at my factions, except for the one that I just hit, which are the Persians. Oh, by the way, even after I hit them, they're still positive plus 30, 33 or 39. So hegemony loves me, 68. Ludic Church loves me, 57. Ludic Path hates me. Well, I mean, I gotta destroy their space when they, you know, and pirates likewise hate me. So, but anyways, so all I do is just, independents of course love me. So all I do is just bounties. The bounties are quick. I just use the gates to get to the closest gate, get to find them, kill them with my fleet, get bounty money, and I make money. I don't lose money from these. I for sure make money. Like the ones that I'm not absolutely certain I make money is when I explore, because sometimes I will bring along one of these radiants, and then it's harder to make money. But you can see my crew. My skeleton crew is 535 for all ships to function optimally. So I have like 1,000. Usually I just have 50% over. So and that's enough. And so my finances, my cost is isn't very high, you know. And well, I just want to show you, you know, how you can play differently. There are people who like to use these chunky ships. The freaking I don't know what you call it. Why am I even doing this? Well, anyways, there are people who like using the big tough ships that like the onslaught, the legions and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. So I have some onslaughts. I only keep the 14th battle group ones. Like I don't keep, if it's just the regular one, I don't bother with them. I just capture them, you know. So I don't know. I think I don't remember how I got this one. I got it for cheap somehow. I remember. So I have my share of Paragons, and I have some Astros. Well, one Astro at least. Odyssey. So I collect all these ships, right? And then at some point I'm gonna mess with them. So that's part of the fun. At some point I'll probably if I don't lose interest, I'll mess with different fits and see how they perform. Like, I'm very curious about this Invictus. To be honest, I really don't like it. Look at the crew. look at my crew requirements. It jumped by 4,000. It was 535 skeleton crews, now 4,530. So this is not an economical ship. So I that's why I don't like it. But I've seen it obviously because I captured this one. But it's a real break. So anyways, I'm just telling you there are ways to play this game that makes it a bit more fun. You know, you just have to learn a little bit more about it. And so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching.